Hey there, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittany Bundles, and today's video is going to be all about how I market my hair business, how I sell hair extensions without being a walking advertisement for my brand. If you've been following me from the beginning, you know that I have done literally thousands of videos on this channel, and a good majority of those videos have been in regard to business tips, business type related tips, and a good bit of those business tips have been geared toward hair businesses. I've had a hair business by the name of Bad Chick Hair, so visit my website if you are interested in seeing everything that I offer. It's badchickhair.com for my virgin hair extensions, and I've had that site since 2013. I did talk heavily on this channel about ways to promote your hair business, like I mentioned, and one of the ways that I would talk about is wearing your hair extensions, being an advertisement for your hair business. I cannot tell you how many people would ask me where I got my hair from, who did my hair, what texture I had in when I would go out. And that really helped spike my hair business. Like it really helped gain exposure. It helped me with sales. It was a huge marketing piece. When I transitioned over to microlocks 6 months ago, before I even did it, I thought about that. I was like, okay, so should I go to microlocks, or should I get microlocks if I am selling virgin hair extensions? And some people may say, well, of course, do what you want to do, you know, but just being realistic, if you're not wearing or advertising what you offer, and that has been one of your primary sources of marketing and getting new customers and clients, it's going to take some strategic pivoting and thinking in advance. And so years down the line, because like I said, I started my hair business in 2013. I installed my microlocks 6 months ago. So I've been in business for years. I have my consistent client base. I have people that order from me faithfully. I can kind of clock when they're going to order. I know what they're going to order, down to the lengths that they order. I have customers that have been that faithful as far as what they order, when they order. And it's like a pattern, like they're on routine, you know. And I'm so grateful for that. However, I'm not gonna lie and say that it has not been a challenge to figure out different ways to market without actually walking around advertising my hair extensions, because that was such a good advertising method for me. And I'm sure there are other hair business owners that feel similar, you know, and maybe questioning, hey, should I do this? What's gonna happen to my business if I decide to go this route? And ultimately, even though that is a legitimate question, I still decided to do what was best for me. What was best for me is to follow my heart and go ahead and get microlocks. Now, I do want to put this out there. If you do decide to get microlocks, traditional locks, or do anything, let's just say you decide to stop wearing virgin hair extensions, doesn't mean that you can't decide to wear hair extensions again. Doesn't mean that I can't put my hair extensions over my locks. Doesn't mean anything like that. But since I've had my locks, I haven't had the urge to put my virgin hair extensions in. Nothing wrong with it. You know, I'm not against virgin hair. I just haven't had that urge personally. So in this video, I'm gonna go over some tips that have helped me still market and gain new customers without wearing my hair extensions, okay? Yes, we have paid ads through Google. Yes, we have social media, but there's always different ways to market. And so I'm gonna be going over some of those marketing strategies here. So if you are interested, be sure to give the video a big thumbs up. Please make sure that you are subscribed. If you do hear noise in the background, I apologize. It's either number one, my baby sleeping next to me, or you're hearing the washer and dryer in the back. All right, so now that I'm no longer a walking hair advertisement for my business, how do I advertise? Okay, so the first thing that I want to mention is when I go out, I now get questions about my locks. I made a video about that literally like a week ago, going over some of the most frequently asked questions that I get asked in public regarding my hair. So now that I'm getting asked about my hair, I enjoy sharing my microlock journey. I actually have a dedicated Instagram page for my microlocks. It's BritLocks_. So be sure to check that out if you're interested. I also have an entire playlist on this channel going over my microlocks journey. But what I do is once I get done answering any questions that whoever I'm speaking with has regarding my hair, I do like to connect them to the page that I just mentioned. On that page, it has links to my YouTube channel. Now on YouTube, I promote my hair business, I promote my credit repair business. I pretty much, I promote what I do. And also on Instagram, they're able to go back to my main page because that is linked on my Instagram page as well. I have had people that asked me about micro locks, went to my Instagram page and then sent me a DM like, hey, I didn't know you had a hair business. Do you have such and such texture? And we start a conversation literally that started from micro locks. One thing to keep in mind when you're in a business is to not assume that everyone's feeling like you. I may feel like I don't want to put any extensions over my micro locks at this point. That doesn't mean that my feelings are valid for everyone. There are other people that are looking for hair extensions in their natural state, looking for hair extensions while they, with locks, looking for hair extensions with braids. Some people braid their braids and put wigs over and different hair extensions. So just because you're not wanting to do something at the moment does not mean that everyone else is feeling the same way. And I think that's something that we really don't take into account as entrepreneurs all the time. We really like to get into, well, I wouldn't want to do that, so why would somebody else want to? Well, there's a lot of things that I don't want to do that a lot of people want to, and it's not my job to go around assuming what people don't want, but it's my job to ask those open-ended questions, to make those connections and those relationships, so that if I see an opportunity where someone does need something that I offer, I can meet the gap. You know what I mean? So that's one thing that I do. So like I said, number one, when I'm going out and I get questions about my locks, I share my Instagram page. The lock Instagram page has my lock journey, but it also has trails back to what I offer. And so I haven't gotten anyone that has been interested in my locks asking about my credit repair business or my podcast or anything like that, but I have gotten people asking about my hair extensions. So that is one way that I still market without actually wearing my hair extensions. Another way that I market without wearing my hair extensions is I return the compliment. Okay, and what I mean by that is, let's say that I'm out in public, and this literally happened to me at Dave & Buster's like this weekend. So I was in the bathroom washing my hands, and this woman came up to me and she said, hey, I was going to walk over to you while you were eating and tell you that I love your hair. Are those sister locks? And I said, no, they're not sister locks, they're micro locks. And she said, oh, they're gorgeous. And I said, thank you. And she asked me how long I've had my locks. I told her for 6 months. And she proceeded to talk about how she was thinking about transitioning to micro locks. And we were just talking, and I noticed that she had a lace front. She had a lace front on, and her lace front looked really nice. She had it in a ponytail. And so I started asking her questions as well. I said, well, you know what? I really love your hair. Do you get your hair done around here? Do you do your hair yourself? And she told me, I do my hair myself. If you don't mind me asking, where do you order your bundles or your wig? Well, it's the wig that I made, and I order from X and X website. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I just want to let you know that I do offer some bomb virgin hair extensions. I want to give you my card, or just give you my Instagram. Take a look. DM me if you can. I'll be able to hook you up with a good deal. I have great quality. I also have samples. And I started asking additional questions. What texture do you normally wear? And she's like, well, I like body wave. And I don't know if it wasn't body wave that she was wearing. She was wearing really like deep wave type of extensions. And if I wouldn't have asked the question as to what she normally wears, I wouldn't have known how to direct the conversation. And so I talked about some sales that I'm offering on my body wave bundles and just different things, how I have bundle deals. And we started talking in the bathroom. Like, it was a good conversation. But that is another way that I advertise my hair business without me actually wearing my hair extensions. So I return the compliment. If someone comes up to you and they're like, hey, I love your hair, because you will get people that come up to you when you do have locks. Like I said, it's trending right now, and I've talked to some people that have had locks before they were trending necessarily. I mean, they've always been popular, but you know what I mean? Like, right now, I feel like it's more mainstream, and there's just a lot of tutorials out there. There's a lot of it. I mean, it's just, you know what I mean? Like, it's trending. I don't know what other way to say that is trending besides it's trending. And so, returning the compliment, letting whoever comes to you and asks you questions know that you're interested in their hair as well, and then that you offer quality hair extensions, that's going to spark an interest in a lot of people. That's putting your business out there. So that's another way to do that. Another way to market your hair business, if you're no longer a walking advertisement, or let's say that you've never wore your hair extensions, I would recommend, though, I'm not gonna lie, that you get familiar with your product. Why? Because it's easier to sell when you know when you have experience with what you're selling. There was a car salesman, and I was talking to him the other night, and I asked him, he said something that made me ask, like, well, what car are you driving? And he said, I'm driving that car, and it's property of the dealership. And I said, oh, okay. And I was looking like kind of confused, and he said, well, I drive all the cars from the dealership because it helps me better sell the vehicles. Because if I'm driving this car, I know the perks, I know what needs to be improved on the car, I know how the car accelerates, I know how good the car does with gas. I'm not just reading a manual, I'm actually driving the car, I'm getting used to the car, I'm taking it out on the road in real life. So when people ask questions, I'm able to better explain it to them because I've had the experience. I personally know the ins and outs of this car. Same thing when you're selling hair extensions or anything else. If you have a boutique and you don't ever wear any of your items, how do you know how the quality really is? I mean, yeah, you can order it from someplace and you can read the reviews, but until you actually test it on yourself, and again, like I said in the beginning of the video, just because you feel some way doesn't mean everyone else is going to feel that way. But I personally feel like it's best, if you're selling anything, to become familiar with what you're selling. If you're selling cakes and you've never tasted the cake that you're selling, it could be very challenging to overcome some objections if you don't know how the cake tastes, if it's moist or not, is it too sweet, you know what I mean? Like, you don't know. So I do think that I know that there's value in wearing your extensions, but I also know that just because you have a hair business or a boutique or any other business, it doesn't chain you to having to constantly be a walking advertisement in the sense of wearing what you're offering nonstop. You know what I mean? There's other ways to still market, like I'm going over in this video. So the next thing that I was going to mention is family and friends. Okay, so with family and friends, I've sent hair to my sister who lives out of state to wear. She has her friends and she has her following. She's on different social media platforms, and so she would share her hair experience with my hair extensions to her friends and family. And then when she would go out, people would ask her the same kind of questions that I would get asked when I would wear my extensions. Where did you order this hair? Who did your hair? They have these kind of textures from this hair company. You've had this hair for this long and it still looks good. How long have you been able to reuse these bundles? All those questions. And she was able to answer those questions for me because I sent her extensions. Same type of deal with my cousin. She lives out of state as well, another state. She lives in a different state than I do. She lives in a different state than my sister does. And I sent her extensions and she did the same thing. So you can have friends and family members be your walking advertisement. You can send out the hair that you would have worn to other people to have them do exactly what it was that you were doing. Now, I'm not going to say that they're going to know everything about your business, but they can tell bits and pieces about their experience. If someone gets good quality hair, they don't have to be an expert in sales to be able to give a good testimonial about how their experience has been. So don't count your family and your friends out. Also, you can look into referral discounts. So like, for example, if my sister referred someone over to me to purchase, or if she has been talking to numerous people about the hair extensions that I gave her in my hair company, then I could do a deal and say, hey, whoever you refer over, I'll give you X amount of dollars, so I'll give you a percentage of the sale. And we have communicated and talked about some of those things before. So that's something else to consider too, doing different referrals and incentives and like just different kind of offers in general with friends and family that are going to market your hair extensions. The next thing that I want to go over is wearing merch. So I have merch on this YouTube channel, and the merch is dedicated to all hair businesses. So if you sell bundles, this is perfect merch for you. It's a great conversation piece. I know it because it's worked so many times. And my merch says, I sell bundles, ask me where. So when people are reading my shirt, they say, I sell bundles, ask me, what kind of bundles do you sell? And I'm like, I sell virgin hair extensions. You sell hair? Yeah. Where do you sell hair? You got a shop? Not anymore, but I sell it online. What's your website? And so those kind of conversations go to, again, my website. And it's a way for people to learn more about what I offer. It's a way for them to explore the website and see if it's something they're interested in. And ultimately, it's a really good way to market my hair business, you know, by wearing merch. So I'll wear shirts that say I sell bundles, ask me where. I sell leggings, I sell socks, I have coffee mugs. So I put on a shirt or I put on some leggings. I even have, I don't know if I mentioned socks, but even socks, or, you know, a coffee mug if you drink coffee in your office or wherever you may be, where people can see you drinking the coffee and read the mug. That's a great way to start a conversation about what you offer. Like I said, when you're not wearing what you're offering, you want to still be conscious of marketing in the world. You know, like I don't just rely solely on YouTube to market my products. I don't rely solely on Instagram or rely solely on Facebook, but I use all of the areas that I can. I use word of mouth. I like to use visual, you know, concept. If someone sees me in public, you know, I want them to be able to, if they don't see my hair extensions, I still want to have some kind of merch on, or I want to be able to share with them what I do. I want to be able to show them my Instagram. So I want to be able to hand them a business card. I want to be able to still promote what it is I offer. So those are some ways that I've been able to still do that. I don't believe, like I said before in the beginning of the video, that you have to be chained down to wearing extensions for your entire life because you sell hair. But I am going to say again that it really does help to become familiar with your products. Once you become familiar with your products and you start to build your clientele and you have your customer base and you're like, look, I want to do something different, it's okay to do that. But you do want to be aware of how you're going to segue your hair business into certain conversations. You know, if someone's coming up to me and they're talking to me about Tyra, and they also have a 1-year-old on their hip, I don't say, hey, thanks for complimenting my baby. Your baby's cute too. Do you need hair extensions? You know, it has to make sense. But when you do get those conversations where there is a segue or where it makes sense to promote your hair business, definitely do so. I hope these tips helped. If you want any other type of hair business tips or insight, advice, be sure to leave your questions down below. I'll be happy to answer them for you. If you do want to learn more about what I do, if you want to tune into my podcast, my credit repair, if you want to start your own hair business, I have a whole entrepreneurial website that's separate from batchofcare.com. That website is keepingupwithbrittany.com. It shows you even a calendar of everything that I'm doing the entire month. If I'll be at any workshops, you know, where the workshops will be located, if I'm doing any virtual trainings, all that information is there. So I really encourage you all to go over to that website and sign up for my email mailing list just so that we can stay connected. Also, there's a form on the website where you can ask additional questions if you have any. You can also leave your questions below in the comment section on this video. I want to thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.